Dancing with the Stars, because everybody's buzzing about whether or not Sarah Palin was booed by the audience. And I know John has a very strong opinion. I agree with you, but I'm hearing people who don't agree with us.
I can't even believe it. You see, Sarah's daughter, you may know, Bristol Palin, she's a contestant on the show. In the middle of a backstage interview with Jennifer Grey last night and her partner Derek Huff, boos erupted from the crowd right before they tossed to a live interview in the ballroom with Sarah Palin. Were they booing Palin or were they booing the judges' scores? You decide.
Carrie-Ann Inaba.
8.
Len Goodman.
8.
Bruno Tognoli.
8.
All right, that's 24 out of 30. How's that feel?
Great, fantastic. Oh, we're exhausted, but that was a lot of fun. It was good.
All right, well, if you don't want to see them meet the same shock that ended David Hasselhoff's Ballroom Dreams, then you need to support them right now. Call, text, and log on to abc.com. There's booing in the ballroom. We don't know why.
Why is there booing?
I don't know. All right, everybody, you know what to do. Support them right now with your votes. Tom?
All right, thank you, Brooke. I'm here with guest ballroom commentator Sarah Palin, who joins us from Alaska.
Okay, so,
all right.
So I'm going to do the deciding for you. Whether you like Sarah Palin or not, they were absolutely booing Sarah Palin.
I totally agree with you.
There's no question about it.
I know.
First of all, they never boo an 8 in the second week of the season. She got a 24. It was the highest score of the week. They're not booing the scores.
I knew he was going to get fired up
They
about
were
this.
clapping, clapping, clapping. All of a sudden, not a couple, like 5, 6, 7 seconds delay.
Yeah.
Booing increases. They were booing the fact that Tom Bergeron was heading over to Sarah Palin.
Of course, Tom Bergeron then said later on Jimmy Kimmel, he said he didn't think that, he thought they were booing the scores. Tom, I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong.
He's trying to be polite. He's trying to hide it. They were clearly booing Sarah Palin.
Okay.
I'm sorry if you like Sarah Palin. I'm not telling you whether or not to like her. I'm just telling you what they were booing. They were booing Sarah Palin.
And there you have it.
Her daughter, though, doing pretty well on the show.
Bristol's
Bristol Palin's
doing
doing a really nice job. I know she was really nervous when she first started out, and she's really doing a good job kind of staving off those nerves and looking pretty good. The competition marches on. During the first week, contestants danced the waltz, the cha-cha. Last night, they did the jive and the quick step. Now we start to see which stars can really dance and which ones are falling behind.
So who's going to make it through the season? We've got an expert opinion here. We're going to talk to Arthur Murray Dance Studios ballroom dancer Linda Smith is here with us. Hi, Linda.
Nice to be back.
Oh, I love this. I like Linda's post-game analysis.
I know.
It's excellent.
We get the real deal. This is the professional opinion. You got some stars. You say that this being the second week, now that they're doing a couple of different dances, you can see kind of separates those that are really in it to win it and not so much.
I mean, there's two distinct styles. There's the ballroom style and the Latin style, and so it's interesting the second week because you can see who handles both styles well.
Okay, so stars who are in it to win it. We start with Jennifer Grey.
I have to disagree with you. I think Jennifer is the one to beat this season.
Because John thinks Brandy's going all the way.
Gonna do it.
I see Brandy, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, clearly Jennifer Grey has established herself as the favorite at this point.
She's 50 years old. I think she is amazing.
She's right on. I mean, there is nothing here that is blatant, offensive. Nothing. She's right on. She's got a great Latin style. She did a great elegant style last week.
Do you think that the 3/8 was too low? You think she should have gotten higher scores?
Yeah, I think they're a little because it's the second week. They're a little conservative in their scores, and sometimes I don't think that necessarily their scores are consistent.
Yeah.
Especially their comments. I don't know if you've noticed that sometimes the judges are a little bit more generous and hold back a little bit more, but their scores for the most part are how they feel. But I think they were conservative with her too. Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about Bristol Palin, and I think she's a big surprise. And you say she's in it to win it.
Well, I think she's definitely hasn't done anything that's offensive, which in the second week you can really see who's out there that's going to get the boot pretty easily, right? Because you kind of cringe when you see them dance. But she has really, I think people are rooting for her because she's the only one that has no showbiz or experience.
She's totally the wild card, and I think her partner said at the beginning the most out of place.
Right, right. And so I think she's the underdog people are rooting for. I don't think she'll be in the top 3, but she's doing a great job. I thought they put her in the wrong dress. If they would have just reversed and had the dark colors on top and the light, I think it would have.
Interesting. The costume making a difference. Something we'll get into maybe in weeks ahead. How about Rick Fox?
Well, he is very impressive. I mean, I agree that his footwork was a little off on this particular dance, a little flat-footed. He had that injury, that he was, there was a question about. but he is a competitor.
Looks like he's having a blast.
Oh yeah, and
For
Cheryl
those not
Burke.
familiar, he's an NBA star, former
Yeah,
NBA star.
Cheryl Burke does great with these athletes, and I think because he's an athlete, he's used to training hard and has that competitive spirit. So I think he'll be in it for a while.
Okay, what about the ones who are having a tough time, that are struggling a little bit? And I'm ready for the Linda John face-off. We're talking about Brandy.
Brandy was my pick, and I don't think she's been as good as I expected out of the gate, but I still think she is my pick because she very well has a chance to win this thing. What do you think, Linda?
Well, again, I think she has problems with her posture, and I think that overall doesn't show a confident look. So she definitely has to fix that in the time ahead.
Okay.
I thought she did better last week with the waltz, and she's just a little tentative, and.
She needs a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, and Max certainly is a pusher, and I don't know if the combination of those two working together is fabulous either.
Okay. Well, we got to talk about Michael Bolton while we can.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
He is,
because next
he
week we
finished
might not
last
talk.
by 6 points last night. That's hard to do.
Bruno said it was the worst jive in the history
Was
of
that
Dancing with the
necessary?
Stars. You
Was
think that was a
ne-
little harsh?
I don't think that was necessary to say.
He climbed out of a doghouse.
Well, but he was doing what his teacher told him to do.
Yeah.
But
Chelsea
yes,
Hightower.
I mean, it was a pretty easy select, I think, for him to be booted off tonight.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you think he's probably going to be the one to go?
That's my pick.
That's your
for
pick.
tonight.
Okay, and then finally, Mike the Situation Sorrentino from Jersey Shore.
Disappointment.
Why? You expected a lot from him?
mess. Well, I gave him the benefit of the doubt
He
last
has
week.
the heart, it seemed like.
Yes, and I was surprised, pleasantly surprised on his attitude, that he's really willing to get in there and work. But he's got to fix those feet. They're just a mess. So pigeon-toed, and his posture is a mess.
As soon as you said pigeon-toed, you mentioned that last week about him, and then I was looking, and you're totally right.
Yeah, and what was disappointing is there didn't seem to be any effort to fix that this week.
Yeah, okay.
When he had more time to practice.
So you got Bolton gone, and you think Jennifer Gray's the one to beat right now.
Yeah, I
I
do.
think that's pretty much the consensus all around at this point.
This
Thank
is
you
good
very
stuff.
much,
Well,
Linda.
thank you.
Thanks, Linda. And we, of course, have to say a big thank you to Arthur Murray Dance Studios for supporting Twin Cities Live. And this is great news. They're offering viewers 2-for-1 dance lessons today only.
Yeah, that's 2 dance lessons for just $25. Come by yourself, sign up with your spouse, or get a group of girlfriends together for ladies' night out. Call the St. Paul or Minneapolis Dance Studio before 10 p.m. tonight.
Because aren't you motivated when you see Dancing with the Stars? You want to do that too. Give them a
And-
call,
and
you
you
can
and I
do
can
it.
both attest.
I
We have
know.
done it. It is fun.
Shockingly, they taught
It
both of
really
us
is
to
fun,
dance.
and it's a great workout too. I'll
I
tell
know.
you. If it's between running on the treadmill or going to dance lessons,
100%.
It's dance lessons every time. It
Oh,
is so much fun, and
absolutely.
it's a tremendous.